For thousands of years, humanity has gazed at the moon, our constant companion in the night sky. But what if this familiar orb is not what it seems? What if the moon is not a natural object at all, but an engineered structure deliberately placed to stabilize life on Earth? In this episode, we'll examine 6 strange and compelling lines of evidence that suggest the moon may be far more artificial than we've ever been told. Every culture has asked, where did the moon come from? Mainstream science offers a few theories. Capture theory. Earth's gravity somehow pulled in a wandering object, but the physics don't add up. Such a perfect capture is nearly impossible. Co-formation theory, that Earth and Moon formed side by side. If true, their compositions should be nearly identical, and they aren't. Giant impact hypothesis. The current best guess. A Mars-sized body supposedly struck Earth, ejecting debris that eventually became the Moon. But here's the problem. Such an impact would have spun the Earth far too quickly, leaving it rotating in just a few hours. A world like that would have been chaotic, with violent winds, tides, and climates, uninhabitable for life as we know it. To explain this away, some modern scientists proposed an even stranger scenario, that after the first giant impact, another Mars-sized body struck Earth soon after, conveniently slowing the spin back down. 2 perfect planet-sized collisions. The odds are so remote, they strain credibility. And then there's the real smoking gun. Isotopes. Atoms come in flavors, isotopes, and each planet has its own unique fingerprint. Mars rocks, meteorites, and moons all show distinct isotopic signatures, but Earth and Moon rocks? They are virtually identical. Oxygen, titanium, tungsten, the ratios match to astonishing precision. Nowhere else in the solar system do a planet and moon share this kind of atomic twinship. If the moon had been captured, formed on its own, or created by a random impact, its chemical fingerprint, its isotopes, should look very different from Earth's. Instead, it matches almost exactly, as if they came from the same place. If every natural explanation collapses under its own weight, what does that leave us with? Without the moon, Earth would be a hostile planet. The moon locks Earth's axial tilt at 23.5 degrees, keeping it from swinging chaotically. Without that anchor, our tilt could swing wildly, scorching one hemisphere while freezing the other. French astronomer Jacques Lascar's computer models show the danger clearly. Without a large moon, Earth's tilt could wobble unpredictably. And even a change of just 1 degree in Earth's tilt would be catastrophic. The equator could fall under relentless sunlight, turning vast regions into deserts. Meanwhile, other zones could be plunged into permanent cold. We don't have to imagine what instability looks like. Mars, with only 2 tiny asteroid-like moons, suffers chaotic axial shifts, leaving its climate prone to wild extremes. Venus, with no real moon at all, is even worse. Its axis can flip nearly upside down over time. In both cases, the absence of a large, stabilizing moon leaves their climates violent and inhospitable. The moon also tamed Earth's wild, fast spin in its early days. Without it, our days would last only 6 to 8 hours. Winds, storms, and tides would be so violent that complex life could not survive. As Dr. Neil F. Comans of the University of Maine noted, the moon's braking effect may be the very reason life was able to thrive here at all. It's almost as if the moon was placed with a purpose to make Earth habitable. In 1969 and 1972, the Apollo missions placed seismometers on the lunar surface. When spent modules were crashed into the moon for testing, something shocking happened. The moon rang like a bell, reverberating for up to an hour. Natural bodies don't behave this way. Soviet scientists Michael Vasin and Alexander Sherbakov took this seriously. In their 1970 article in Sputnik magazine, they proposed that the moon might be a hollowed-out planetoid with internal machinery, perhaps even a nuclear reactor powering it from within. NASA tried to explain the seismic data by saying the moon's crust and mantle are unusually dry, allowing vibrations to travel farther. But the extreme ringing, twice observed, twice recorded, remains unlike any other celestial body we've studied. If the moon is not solid, then what is inside it? The moon's surface is scarred with craters, but these craters reveal an enigma. On Earth, impacts produce craters of varying depth, depending on the size of the incoming object. On the Moon, however, craters of vastly different diameters are often the same shallow depth, as though a hard, impenetrable layer lies beneath the surface, a kind of armored shell. Even stranger, the deeper you dig into the Moon's soil, the younger the material appears, the opposite of Earth, where older rocks lie below younger layers. What are we really looking at? And then there are the transient lunar phenomena, or TLPs. For centuries, astronomers have reported strange flashes, glows, and even greenish lights on the moon's surface. Some scientists suggest that these are caused by outgassing, meteor impacts, or electrostatic discharges. But periodic, localized emissions of light have never been fully explained. Finally, there's the case of the Linné crater. First carefully documented in the 19th century by Johann Schröter and later mapped by lunar cartographers, Linné once appeared large and prominent. Today, it is small, shallow, and almost inconspicuous, as if the moon has somehow healed itself. Natural geology, or something else? The moon's orbit is unlike anything else in our solar system. It's improbably large compared to its host planet, locked in near-perfect circular orbit, with its far side forever hidden from Earth. But here's the strangest part. The moon and the sun, two objects of utterly different size and distance, appear almost exactly the same size in our sky. The sun is about 400 times larger than the moon, but it also sits about 400 times farther away. The result? A perfect match. The moon can cover the sun's disk with uncanny precision, producing total eclipses. Not too big, not too small, just exact. But why 400? Why not 399? Why not 401? Why should two unrelated bodies in space line up so flawlessly, and just so happen to do it from the vantage point of Earth, where life thrives? Astronomers call this a cosmic coincidence, yet it looks less like chance and more like calibration, as if someone set the dials with intent. And the anomalies don't stop there. The moon's center of mass is shifted about 2 kilometers toward Earth, instead of sitting at its geometric center. That shift makes tidal locking stable, forcing the moon to always show the same face. This isn't what we'd expect from a natural body, but it does make the system work with eerie precision. Our moon is unusual in other ways as well. Most planets have moons, but none like ours. Jupiter's Ganymede and Saturn's Titan are larger, but compared to their enormous hosts, they're proportionally tiny. Mars, by contrast, has 2 small irregular moons, Phobos and Deimos, that are little more than captured asteroids. Earth is different. Our moon is 1/4 the size of Earth itself, making it gigantic relative to its planet, far larger than orbital mechanics would suggest is natural. If the moon were just another rock caught in Earth's gravity, it should be small, lumpy, and irregular, like Phobos or Deimos. Instead, it's spherical, massive, and in exactly the right orbit to stabilize Earth. Taken together, the perfect 400-400 ratio, the moon's anomalous size, the precise eclipses, the circular orbit, and the shifted mass, it's hard to see this as random. It looks designed, as if the moon was deliberately placed exactly where it needed to be. Not all evidence comes from geology. Some comes from those who claim to have seen what NASA hides. Carl Wolf, a US Air Force technician, testified that while working with NASA's Lunar Orbiter program, he saw photographs of artificial structures on the far side of the moon. Weeks later, Wolf died in a suspicious cycling accident. Ken Johnston, a former NASA contractor with Northrop, has spoken about Apollo 14 photographs allegedly showing clusters of UFOs and said he was ordered to destroy key evidence. And one photograph, Lunar Orbiter 3, frame 84M, shows what appears to be a towering shard or obelisk casting a long, unmistakable shadow across the lunar surface. The shadow aligns exactly where it should, based on the sun's position at the time, supporting that the object was truly there. If these testimonies are even partly true, then the moon may not be just rock and dust, but a base or beacon hiding in plain sight. Taken together, these 6 pieces of evidence paint a chilling, provocative picture. The moon may not be a natural companion at all, but a constructed object, deliberately placed to stabilize life on Earth. And if so, who built it? Why did they place it here? And are they still watching us from above? And if the moon was placed for us, what happens when its purpose is fulfilled? We'll explore these questions and more. Watch the skies. Watch the patterns. Watch Nordic Files.